And then back to Ronaldo to the rim. Oh, great block. James out of nowhere, skies to the rim. Oh, Boyd took the advantage and played on from inside the center square. Boyd kicked the goal. Boyd kicked the goal from inside the center. Here's Aloisi for a place in the World Cup. He's hands right back up.
Live it, breathe it, love it. All sports, double coverage.
What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to Double Coverage. Hope you're still living, loving, and breathing sport. I am Dom with the great man, Sauce. Welcome to episode 128. And the title of the show is What Sauce? And how you going?
Messi is the GOAT. Gotta miss. It's done. It was scripted. You called it 18 months ago, Doma, that Argentina was going to win the World Cup. And I called it at the beginning of the tournament. I did say Argentina was one of the teams that I believe could go all the way. And so did the Sheik. He believed that that was going to be the case when he said the greatest storyline could be for this World Cup will be that Messi and Argentina win the World Cup. And when you've got that, the Sheik of Qatar saying that, it was always going to happen. Let's not beat around the bush. And congratulations to Argentina first and foremost. And Doma has been drowning his sorrows ever since the final because now on every list that there is, Ronaldo is not number 2 greatest player. He's now number 4. He's behind Maradona and Pelé, apparently. So we can speak about that in a bit. But what a World Cup, first and foremost. It was an unbelievable World Cup. Great tournament. A lot of brilliant games. Very entertaining. A lot of dubious decisions and stuff that maybe went to VAR when it shouldn't have, and stuff that didn't go to VAR when it should have. But nonetheless, it was a good tournament. And I'll tell you what, look, I loved every second of it, but I'm glad it's over, Doma, because I can actually have a bit of a regular sleep schedule now.
Yeah, we will start with the World Cup and we'll just continue on. I can't really talk about any of the things because I did say I'm retiring from football, so I am done with that. So, but I will say the World Cup was fantastic, and I agree with you, Sauce. It's one of the best tournaments, World Cup tournaments I've ever seen in my lifetime. Probably 06 in Germany. I was speaking with Ben, who you would remember from a lot of watch parties, the Man United ones. I was speaking with him yesterday, and he said that 06, in terms of quality of games, talent that were on the park, and squad creation, and they were competing for their countries, he said, minus the fact that Italy actually won the World Cup in 06, he goes, putting that aside, he said the culmination of players that competed in that tournament were unbelievable. And the quality of games were also unbelievable. So he said that's probably where he stands. He didn't really watch as much, he was saying. And I said, to be honest, I agree with him. And I thought that this tournament was unreal. Absolutely unreal. They put on a great show, the Qataris. And well done to them and to everyone that was involved. So if you've got anything else to say, Sauce, if you want to review this final, you can.
Big thumbs down to the SBS commentary team, who were absolutely horrendous all tournament, and I didn't listen to a second of them.
Was there a part that turned you off, or?
Oh, just look. I'm not gonna say anything, but name names. But there's just some, pundits that they put on there. Absolute peanuts. Seriously, absolute.
Where was
peanuts.
Where's Lucy Zelic?
Yeah, that's a good point.
What happened to her? I know everyone bagged her at the freaking Euros or the last World Cup because the way she pronounced names. Man, come on, man. So what? I pronounced Charles de Ketelaere as Charles de Ketelaere, and people Ketelaere, that's how they fucking pronounce his name because they can't pronounce it. At least she had a crack, mate. And it sounded hot when she was pronouncing the European names as well, mate. And she knew what she was talking about when it came to football. It did. She did. She knew what she was actually talking about. She was all over it. So I don't know where she was, but yeah, she was actually sorely missed. And of course, the Boz iPad became the crowd favorite. While everyone was giving their opinions, he was on his iPad, probably putting 25-leg multis involving Croatia and all their players. So
He was loving it.
but
He's always
it was
funny,
a
the
great
Boz.
tournament. So you can review this final if you like, Source. It'll be the last time we review it. Well, you review it because I'm not speaking about it because I can't give analysis on games.
Yeah, so we'll run it down. Look, Argentina came out in this final and they bossed the game. They came out like they wanted to win the game and they deservedly, deserve to be up. Whether they deserve to be up 2 goals at halftime remained to be seen. I mean, the first penalty which was awarded was soft as butter. Should Di Maria be awarded that penalty? In my humble opinion, I don't think so. The arm barely touched him, and then he went to the ground. They say the legs tangled. The legs only tangled because he went to ground. Then they tangled as he's falling. So, is that little arm across enough for him to go down like that, like drop like a sack of spuds? I don't think so. There was harder fouls throughout the game that literally weren't given, and they give that soft as one on the penalty. Once I seen that, I sort of had a feeling that Argentina were going to win. That it was a little bit scripted for them to get over the line, should we say? And then they kicked that second goal, caught France on their counter attack. It was a very, very well worked goal. Di Maria scoring it in the end, and then in the second half, France didn't offer much. I thought France would come out the second half, beginning of the second half and press and harry. They didn't do much. I think the substitutions of Thuram and Moani coming on helped a lot. Dembele and Giroud did absolutely nothing in the first half. And then all of a sudden, one play, they get a penalty. That penalty was there. Mbappe finishes it. It's 2-1. A minute and a half later, Mbappe gets another chance. One of the few times he was able to get one of those return balls in behind the defense. Finishes it on the half volley. Was an amazing finish. Probably didn't even need to take it on the half volley. Could probably have taken a touch and gone a bit closer, but took it early. Beats the keeper. It's 2-2. It goes into extra time. Anything could happen from here. Messi scores, takes it to 3-2, and then another penalty is awarded to France. Mbappe bags it, and it ends up 3-3. It goes to penalties, and then we all know what happened there. Argentina too strong, too resolute. Martinez, who won the Golden Glove, was immense. We spoke about it on stream as it was leading up to penalties that, if it does get there, I think we see, Argentina winning because Martinez has such a great record against penalties. So, and that's not just for Argentina, that's also, and in this tournament, but it's also for, his club side that he plays for in the Premier League. I think he plays for Aston Villa, I believe, or West Ham, one of the two. So, yeah, look, Argentina, congratulations. Messi gets his World Cup. He definitely goes down as the GOAT. You can't deny that. He's an amazing player. Let's see if he can, take that to the next level and maybe bring PSG that long-awaited Champions League title that they can't seem to get their hands on. So, maybe that's maybe the two Warriors in that final could put their differences aside when they go back to their club side in Mbappe and Messi and, bring that home for PSG this season. But, yeah, it was a great World Cup, Doma. It was a great World Cup, and it was a great final, even with a bit of the controversy that was there with the, soft penalty and a few other things that happened. It was a great final, and it rounded up a great World Cup overall.
Very well said. I'm just going to get to the awards. Golden Ball was Messi, well-deserved. Golden Boot was Mbappe with that hat-trick in the final. The Golden Glove, as Saucy said, went to Emi Martinez. And then the best young player went to Enzo Fernandez, who plays for Argentina, who had a great World Cup. So Julian Alvarez, I think, was a bit stiff not to win that because he was very, very good for the Argentines as well. So, yeah, those are some of the awards. Adam says, "You boys on holidays already, slackers." No, I'm on holiday, so so Sauce is able to accommodate my times, which is quite nice of him. Manny says, "Love the new time. It's a once-off, Manny." So enjoy it, son. That's pretty much it. Premier League is back next week. Next
Not
week,
this
I'm pretty
weekend, I
sure.
think next weekend.
Next weekend, yeah. Well, I know United play Nottingham Forest on the 27th of December. So next week's pod will review
So,
the Prem games. So
Yep.
they'll be back, which is crazy. It's gone so
they usually
quick.
They usually play Boxing Day, so I don't know if they've got Boxing Day fixtures as well.
I'm going to have a look
maybe.
here, so I'm going to do it right now, to be honest.
Have a geezer. Let the people know. But he's right around the corner. The Prem.
It's bloody flown. 26th, Brentford Tottenham. Oh, we can review them now because we'll be on a pod next week to review some of these games. So Brentford Tottenham, Palace Fulham, Everton Wolves, Leicester Newcastle, Southampton Brighton, Villa Liverpool, Arsenal West Ham, Chelsea Bournemouth, United Nottingham, and Leeds versus Man City. Anything else you wanted to talk about in the soccer segment, Saucy? That's it. Done. Dusted. We can move on. Manny says, "Want me to buy you a Messi jersey, Doma? What are friends for?" No, you can send me that Beckham jersey. That'll be much appreciated. Thanks, Manny. Love you.
That would be definitely very friendly if he sent you that signed Beckham jersey that he's got.
Don't worry about the other shit that, like, I don't want a Messi jersey. You can buy me an Mbappe jersey. We'll take one of those. The GOAT. Mbappe, the GOAT.
It's all right. You can use it as a sweat towel at the gym, Doma. Use it to wipe the sweat off your crack, mate.
I can't talk about it. That's it. I'm done. That's it. We just move on. I just cover Premier League games now and I keep my mouth shut. That's the way I roll now. So
I love it.
Anyway, I didn't get my wish. I wanted to put some people into some helplines if France won. Would be fantastic. All right, let's move on. NBA Source. A few things that have been noticed. 76ers playing really, really well. They've won 6 straight at home, you were saying to me before we got on. You noticed?
Yeah, I believe
6 straight in general. Yeah,
6 straight in general, or six at home, or they're just playing very good basketball. I watched them today.
Yep.
They were down late, 4 minutes to go. They were down 9 points. They went going an 11-0 run and get the win in the end. I mean, they take it to overtime. They get the win. They're just chugging along really nicely. They still got Tyrese Maxey to come back. I like the look of him. I like the way Joel Embiid's playing. I feel like they're closing out games a bit better. I think that was something that they struggled with a bit last season. But yeah, they seem to have it going thus far. Early days of the season. It'll be interesting to see how they go in this next part of the season, because I believe they've had 7 games in a row at home, or 6 or 7 in a row at home. So, they're going to have to go on a bit of a road trip. So it'll be interesting to see how they fare on the road trip. But yeah, chugging along nicely. And should they be able to piece together and be fully fit, they're a side that's going to be able to actually do something in the East. One of the few sides.
Definitely, completely agree with that. Their makeup is quite strong as a side. It's just the chemistry that needs to start to get pieced together, which looks like it is forming. The other team on a bit of a win streak is the New York Knickerbockers. They've won 7 straight. I was pretty harsh on the Knicks 2 weeks ago. Just because they won 7 straight doesn't mean that I'm proven wrong in any sense of the imagination just yet. Your thoughts on the 7-game win streak, Source? Can it transition from regular season to playoffs? I know we're talking about this 7-game win streak now. There's still about 40 games left, 40-plus games. So just settle your freaking calm your farm, ladies and gents.
Yeah.
It's not like we're at the end of the season leading into playoffs.
Yeah, Where are they sitting in the Knicks? I think they're doing pretty well in the standings as well.
Yeah, they're doing well. I
But
think they're up to 5th.
yeah, I mean, look, their aim should be to make playoffs again. But sorry, Knicks fans, but you get to playoffs, guys like Julius Randle, RJ Barrett, they're not going to hold up in the playoffs. They're just not. They might be able to piece a couple games together, but over a 7-game series, I'm telling you, there's more consistent guys on other teams in the East that will, get the job done
The 6th.
across the 7 games. So yeah, look, as well as they have been playing, and I'm not going to lie, I mean, I've they've been doing well for me in the Knicks. Made some money off them, betting on them on their recent ring streak.
Gamble responsibly.
I don't gamble responsibly. That's right. I don't see how that team transitions to a playoff winning team that's going to take you deep into the playoffs. I just don't.
Fair enough. I completely agree with you, to be honest. I don't see it. Brooklyn, who were struggling very early, they're now the 4th seed in the East source, which is pretty interesting.
Kyrie cooking had game winner the other day. He's
KD's
free now.
playing really well. We had 40
so
yesterday, 43 or whatever it was.
You can let it fly. You can be Kyrie.
Yep, they sit in there. Boston have lost 4 of their last 5 and losing to a side that is on the agenda. A couple of people that listen to the show will be pretty happy, but the Orlando Magic back-to-back wins against Boston. They've won 4 straight, Source. They're only 2 games off the play-in, the Magic. I know as much as you know that this is one of our favorite sides to watch in the NBA with this young core. There's a lot of potential there in the next few seasons for when these players actually hit benchmarks to become a force to be reckoned with. You've watched some of these, both these games against Boston. You've seen fair bit of footage. Your thoughts on the way that they tackled probably the best team in the NBA up until they slayed them and put them into the 2nd seed in the East?
Yeah, look, they played very well. Boston does rely, quite a bit on the 3-point shot, and if it isn't going for them, and they shoot a high volume, that is always going to affect their chances at winning the ball game. Because it just clogs up the paint a lot more, and in that especially in the first game. The second game I didn't catch much of, but the first game I watched the whole matchup. The one where Tatum was playing. They forced them to take a lot of threes. They weren't falling, and then with their length, they were able to clog up the paint, and that meant that the Celtics weren't able to get a run on when those threes were struggling. They struggled to finish inside. And I'm telling you, the Magic just have some players that I'm just excited about. Banchero being one, obviously, he's going to be an absolute gun in this league for a long, long time. Just his makeup, like his body composition already at that age is just unreal. Like he's so strong, and he's knocking guys off, bumping guys and finishing, at the rim, against guys that have been in the league 4 or 5 years already, and even senior vet guys. So, look, there's him. There's Franz Wagner, who excites me. I love the way he plays. He's, very underrated, very good handles for a guy his size, and is always developing. Obviously, you got Bol who could be anything, who's been playing some, decent basketball, and filling out into his role. And then, look, the list goes on. You got Moritz Wagner, who's obviously a bit more of a vet guy now. He's been in the system, I think, 4 or 5 years, originally drafted by the Lakers. He's finding his feet. He can spread the floor as a big guy. They got a lot of length. They got Mo Bamba coming off the bench. They got Cole Anthony, who can just come off the bench and give you 20 points at any given moment. I mean, look, I think Cole Anthony, I don't know if he's ever going to get a starting point guard gig. I don't know if he has that. Maybe he does if he leaves the Magic. But I could see him being like a Jordan Clarkson, what Jordan Clarkson sort of evolved into. He could win 6th Man of the Year awards. I'm telling you. Yeah, he's
that team's good. But if you've got a player like Cole Anthony coming off the bench, that is so handy going forward as your team develops. They got Suggs as well, he's coming to his own a bit more. They're
He's
playing a
coming
lot.
good. Look, he's injured
playing a
at the
lot.
moment. He was
Yeah.
playing good basketball before he got injured. Yeah.
But their vets are Terrence Ross is a boss, who's obviously getting on, but they might have to get another vet in there. But the other one is Gary Harris, who, good defensive player, has come in, fit into that squad nicely. You don't have to score at a high clip when they got all the talent that this team does have. I don't think they need to be in this Wembanyama sweepstakes Orlando. They don't need to. They really don't. I think they've realized that they don't need him. Obviously, he helps. He's a gun, but they'd have to move a fair few bigs, which are on this team. They got Wendell Carter Jr., who's also a good player. He's pretty solid. He's actually played all right. This roster is pretty deep in terms of talent. It's very tall in retrospect. They lost today to
the thing is experience, reps, and
exactly right.
Time. That's what they need. They need experience, reps, and time, and they will gel together. And we're seeing in the last 5 games what they can do when they do piece it together. They are a dangerous basketball team. Even today against the Hawks, I mean, they ended up coming back and losing by 1 point. But I mean, there was 4.5 minutes to go, Doma, and they were down 14 points. Or 15 points, 5 minutes to go. And they just kept fighting and they fought back and they end up losing by 1. But, it's just going to show that the confidence that they're building in that franchise and in themselves. So, look, I'm excited for that Magic franchise.
They're good enough to make the play-in, man. They're good enough.
Yeah, where are they sitting? Where are they sitting at the moment?
They're 13th.
Yeah.
They're 11-21. They are currently, so Bulls, Washington, and Orlando all on 11 wins. They're a game behind Washington, and they're 3 games behind the Bulls because they've played less than them.
So
but Toronto's in the play-in,
potentially, and
so Toronto's in the play-in spot in 10th with 13 wins.
Oh wow! So they're right there.
They're right there. They're right there. If they won today, they'd be a game behind Toronto. So they're not far off of it at all. So they're playing really, really good basketball. So good on them. It's good to see. So that's a bit of our take on their young core in Orlando at the moment. The last thing, just an honorable mention to Phoenix and the Pelicans, because this feud that they're building between each other is very, very nice. I love Jose Alvarado going at Chris Paul and giving him shit. It's just fantastic. Zion dunking at the end of the game. It was so good. So good. You got JJ Redick coming out on the podcast and saying people pay good money to come and watch Zion dunk. It doesn't matter if he dunks at the start, the middle, or the end of the game. Just let him dunk.
He's there to put on a show. And, look, credit to Zion. He knows people come out to pay to see him, and he wants to put on a show for the fans. And he dominate that game.
Yeah, so he had to put the exclamation point on there. He deliberately did it to piss them off because he bossed them. And then, of course, Devin Booker comes back 2 days ago, plays in the 3rd matchup that they've had in about a week and a half, drops 58 on them. 58 piece. They get the win. So it's 2-1 in the series for
it's
the
good.
Season.
It's what we want to see. It looks like, we could have a potential matchup maybe in the playoffs, between these two teams who look like that, they're definitely going to be there at the end of the season. But yeah, look, not much I can say. Booker's been well when he has played well and has picked up the slack with obviously injuries that they've had. That Phoenix side, look, Dom, I'll just say this.
On them.
I was about to say I'm not convinced. I don't see them having a chance to even make it to the finals. I think they'll struggle to get to the conference finals, if I'm being brutally honest.
That's fair enough.
Look, I'm not sold.
Booker's on him. In and out. Booker's like in and out. He doesn't play every game.
But they're very reliant on Booker. If he is not firing, that's it. Like CP3 is supposed to be your second guy. Well, sorry, he's too old to be that guy.
It's gone back to the Phoenix pre-Chris Paul. But now they've got Chris Paul. Because Chris Paul's got older and he's become more injury prone, they've just gone back to the old model of, we'll just let Booker do everything. And that's not the way to win. Like, he can't do everything. Yeah, he's a fantastic scorer, and that's great. But he can't do everything. It's a tried and tested method in Phoenix, and it failed. And they're doing the same thing again. And Chris Paul, you can visibly see, he's not the player that he was 2 seasons ago.
He struggles. He does
Even
make some
Aiden's
threes occasionally,
struggling.
but just he struggles to shoot from 3. Like, it just looks like such an effort to get that 3 ball to make it to the basket.
Even Aiden's struggling, Sauce. Don't get me wrong. I know Aiden's had some 20 and 20 games this season, and that's fine. You can have those games, but he struggled today. Like today, the last game, I'll give you his rundown today. They played the Lakers, who had no one. They beat them by 26, which is you have to win those games. He had 21 and 11. Chris Paul had 28 today. They had no Booker, but the starting lineup they played was Lonnie Walker, Troy Brown Jr., Thomas Bryant, Patrick Beverley, and Dennis Schroeder.
Dennis Schroeder dominated, scored the most points for the Lakers.
Yeah, but I'm just saying. Okay. Anyway, Manny says, why the F isn't Zion in the comeback player of the year nominations? I don't know what's going on there. I'll be honest with you. Saucy and I have mentioned this off air, and we kind of mentioned it last week and the week before. This is a guy that all the hype in the world was on, and because he was injured, they go, oh, he's injury prone. He's going to be the next Greg Oden. That's all we kept hearing. He's going to be Oden. He's fat. He's too fat. He's this. He's come back and he's dominated, and now no one wants to talk about him. Like, what are we doing? I'm just confused. I really am. It baffles me. But they're happy with, like, Memphis is top of the West and they're doing a really good job. But they're happy to just keep praising Ja Morant, like, which is fine because he's playing great basketball. But as Saucy mentioned last week, this is a team that, you know, when he's not in there, they're still able to win a high volume of games without their star player in the team, where I'm telling you, they haven't got Brandon Ingram in this team, but if they didn't have Zion in this team in New Orleans, do you reckon they'd be sitting in 4th in the West, Source? If they didn't have Zion over the last month?
No way.
There is zero chance. I'm not even going to give it a 1% chance.
He's been averaging like 25, 5, and 5 over the last month, at least.
He had 18 today. They lost as well today. Valanciunas had 37 and 18, I think. The big V.
Shooting like Steph Curry from 3, mate. I think he had 5 threes in the first half.
Let's have a look. Let's go to
Big Valanciunas.
I want to see your stats over the last Basketball Reference. Let's have a look. He's averaging this year. He's averaging 25.7, 7 boards, 4 assists, which is pretty good. 1 steal, half a block, which isn't exactly great, but he's shooting field goal percentage is at 60.5%, which is pretty good. So just keep in mind that this guy has played only 109 games of basketball. Just keep that in mind. He only played 24 in his first season, 61 in 2021. He didn't play last season at all because he was injured. And he's played as many games as he has in his first season, where he averaged 22 and a half in the 24 games that he played, which is ridiculous. So just a great player. Great player. So keep an eye on them. They're struggling, though. They have lost, I think, 4 of their last 5 at the moment. Manny says, I need him in my parlay. All right, let's move on, Source. Let's get to the NFL because it's ramping up. You'll be pleased to know that we have spoken to Matty Cans, and we're going to do an NFL playoffs preview. That's the pod we're going for. We're not doing it. Obviously, we can't do a mid-season review pod because it's almost playoff time. But let's get to the games from this week and the results. So we had the 49ers defeating the Seahawks 21-13. This one. This deserves one of these, mate. Because after getting absolutely slapped at halftime.
Oh my God! Hurt y'all.
Put that shit on! Hey! Put that shit on! Hey! Put that
Being down 33-0 at halftime, Kirky Cousins comes out against Saucy's mob, the Indianapolis Colts, and puts up
So shit.
39 points in the second
So
half
shit.
to 3 and gets them the win.
So shit. What did we give up? 39 points in the half.
Yeah.
Plus overtime. Oh my.
You gave up 2 TDs in the third, in the third, 3 TDs in the fourth, and then 3 points in OT to lose. We had the Browns with Deshaun, can I give you a massage, Watson, 13-3 win over Baltimore Ravens. He's just trying to settle himself in there nicely into the massage scene. Then we had the
other massage, mate. They'll settle him down.
Then we had one of the great games of the season. I'm not saying it because it's my team, but it was Bills versus Dolphins. The Bills got the job done, 32-29. It was 26-21 at the end of the third. Going into the fourth, this game almost didn't go ahead due to the heavy snowfall source, but it got cleared up. They were able to play. But towards the end of the third, and then completely the entirety of the fourth, it was coming down in sheets of snow. And I'm telling you, Saucy was like, oh, you were up and you end up losing this. He hadn't seen what happened in that last quarter. I said, Saucy, it was snowing that much that there's a QB that's not used to snow. He's used to aqua waters and sunshine.
In Miami.
Over in Miami and in Hawaii, where he's from, where on the other side of the pitch, on his home turf, with the Bills Mafia behind him, Josh Allen just went, I can take speed off the ball, revolutions off the ball. I can hit targets as if like he can close his eyes. He just knew where everyone was on the bloody pitch. He was just nailing everything. And they end up going 11-3 in the last quarter, getting the job done, beating my mob. And it was just awesome to watch. And the Saturday games are sick here, Source, as well. It was great to have a few games on a Saturday. Next up, we had Detroit defeating the Jets 20-17. Saints defeating the Falcons 21-18. The Jags defeating Manny's Cowboys 40-34. Kansas City 30-24 winners over Houston. Philly defeat Chicago 25-20. I think Jalen Hurts is out for the next 2 games with a shoulder injury, but he should be back ready for the playoffs. Pittsburgh defeat Carolina 24-16. The Raiders defeat the Patriots 30-24. Broncos 24-15 over the Cardinals. Bengals defeat the Buccaneers 34-23. Saucy's boy Joey B.
Mate,
gets the
absolutely
job done
dominated in that game. They were losing in that one in the first half and then just came out in the second half and just bossed it. Absolutely bossed it, the Bengals. And Joey B. They're firming up nicely to make another push, mate, here again in the AFC.
They're just like, they time it very well. Manny, it's your mob, so I have to say it. Just like Seattle's Matty Cam's mob got beaten. And I like the Cowboys. They're like my second team, so... then the Chargers defeated the Titans 17-14, and the Giants defeated the Commanders 20-12. Upcoming matches for this week, Saucy: Jets, Jags, Ravens, Falcons, Panthers, Lions, Bears, Bills, Browns, Saints, Chiefs, Seahawks, Vikings, Giants, Patriots, Bengals, Titans, Texans, 49ers, Commanders, Manny's boys, the Cowboys against Philadelphia, Steelers, Raiders, Dolphins, Packers, Rams, Broncos, Cardinals, Bucks, and Colts versus Chargers. So you've got Justin Herbert this week, Sauce, and we have Aaron Rodgers this week. There you go. Done and dusted. I'm going to throw it to you, Saucy, because you have a script to read, because we've got some UFC, baby.
Yes, that is right, Doma. UFC, we had a big fight card over the weekend, the last one of the year, and the UFC segment is sponsored by Clean Soap, Australia's #1 in MMA, BJJ, and martial arts hygiene. Roll Clean Soap is a proud family-run Australian business. Roll Clean Soap is made with natural ingredients and helps keeps you clean on and off the mats. Don't be the smelly guy at the gym. Walk in with confidence with Roll Clean Soap and destroy the competition. Roll Clean offers a wide range of products in assisting post-training recovery. Our magnesium bath salts, bath bombs, and boost balm can help ease those aches and pains after a hard training session. Roll Clean offers many soap varieties to choose from. Just visit www.rollclean.com.au or hit them up on social media. Roll Clean, we've got your back. There it is, #1 in the business. Roll Clean Soap. I'll tell you what, Doma, it smells beautiful and makes you feel special.
I bit into this one last week. It tasted nice.
Tasted good. It smells good. I can't say I've tasted it, but it smells good. And I'll tell you what, you're feeling fresh as a daisy after you
There's the
give
teeth
yourself a
marks for
clean
you.
with the Roll Clean soap varieties. Make sure you check them out, ladies and gentlemen.
Matty Tabe, Christmas pack coming for us soon. Oh, thank you very much.
All right.
I need a tea back. I need to load up on some more of the product, mate. Get me balls smelling fresh. Straight
Best
for
in the
Christmas.
business.
Over to you, Sauce.
All
Give us
right,
a rundown.
Doma, we
of
had
this last
fight
card.
night. The last card, fight night, Canier against Strickland. I'll run through the main card and give the results. You had the middleweight division. You had Mikhail. This is a doozy. Okalishuk. I don't even know. That is very hard. Defeated Cody Brundag in the first round with a KO. Lightweight, you had Drew Dobber defeated Bobby Green, second round KO. Featherweight, Alex Caceres defeated Julian Rosa, first round KO. Flyweight, Amir Alabazi defeating Alessandro Costa, third round KO. Lightweight, co-main event, Armin Taruskin defeating Damir Ismagulov, third round decision. And then Jared Cannonier defeating Sean Strickland, fifth round decision. Bit of controversy in this one. Sean Strickland wasn't happy with the result after the fight. Felt like he'd done enough to get the win. And people on social media, probably a lot of people actually agreed with him. Felt there was a bit of dodgy judging scorecards, but nonetheless, Jared Cannonier gets the win. That rounds out the last fight card for the whole year. And what another great year of UFC it has been. There's been some some shock upsets in the sport over the past year, and there's been some cracking fights, and we look forward to next year's cards. And obviously, pinning it in March, the big card in Australia where it'll be stacked full of Aussies. So definitely looking forward to that one. But it's been a great year of UFC, and we look forward to what could be there's going to be some great bouts coming up in the next 12 months, and some title fights and rematches of some of the great fights that we've seen this year. So we should see the sequels next year, hopefully.
I like it, Sauce. Very well done. It has been an awesome year. Absolutely awesome year for UFC. And we've seen the highs and the lows for champions, obviously getting to the promised land, but also at the same time losing titles in the same calendar year, which has been just insane. Absolutely insane. I think there's some big ones on the cards, obviously, for next year. Potential John Jones return to the UFC in 2023. Potential Conor McGregor 2023 return to the octagon since he broke his leg. Obviously, we might get that. What we've wanted for so long, Sauce. Sugar Sean O'Malley with his title shot. That's what we've wanted. I think we're going to get that next year. We're obviously going to get Volkanovski versus Islam Makhachev. Volk's going up a weight class for that one. That's going to be insane to watch as well. So, Sauce. We're ending
Matty Tape says
2022.
McGregor in the comments. He should be back next year. He should be fighting back on the cards.
But Sauce, 2022 gave us so much, and these are the storylines for potentially in 2023. So that's massive, absolutely huge. And Dana White, credit to him and what him and everyone have done in that organization. Another solid year in the UFC. So very nicely done. And I'll tell you what, your pronunciation of the names have improved in 2022.
I've gotten better.
Well,
I'll tell you what.
You have.
Look,
you have.
you should have that one that I stumped on today. I
I'm not
wouldn't
even
even know where to start. I wouldn't even know
I'm
where
not
to
going to even
start.
start. I'm not even going to start. All right, let's get to hobby talk because we've got a double Le Mans. One's a sport-related one. One's a hobby-related one. But we'll do it all in hobby talk. So hobby talk brought to you by Platinum Standard Grading. Thank you to Platinum Standard Grading, best grading company in Australia, for your support. There you go. There's the Paddy Dangerfield. Very nice. I like it. All right, Sauce. We've got two Le Mans. We're going to start with the sport one first and then obviously transition into the hobby. But we're going to go to the elephant in the room when it comes to football. And that is the scenes that we saw on Saturday night in a disgraceful display, I think it's safe to say, at the Melbourne Derby. You were watching this game live. So I was getting text messages while I was out for a dinner, and social media was blowing up and going crazy. But you were watching this live. So give us a rundown.
Yeah, so look, I'm not sure if people are aware, what happened during the week, which was, the A-League signed a contract with New South Wales government to, host the grand final of the A-League in New South Wales over the next 3 years. So I think they took 20 million to host it there over 3 years. And, fans weren't happy because traditionally in the A-League, you play for the right to host the final. If you finish on top of the ladder or higher position, you host the final. It's worked well over the many years it's been going for that way. And due to money and greed, the A-League has taken the money over the loyalty to the fans and what the fans deserve. And, there was protests about the 20th minute mark in the match, just after the 20th minute mark, protesters threw flares on the field. The Melbourne City goalkeeper, when a flare sort of came in his vicinity, it didn't hit him. So it sort of landed next to him. He picked it back up and piffed it back into the crowd. And that has sparked a bit of angst amongst the supporters. And they've actually stormed the field. One of the supporters grabbing the bucket, which has the sand in it. So they've got a metal bucket with sand there for if people do light flares and throw them onto the field, that they can put it out in the bucket of sand and get rid of the flare. And he's picked up that bucket, and as he's approached the Melbourne City goalkeeper, he's hurled it at the goalkeeper and hit him in the head with a metal bucket full of sand. It's actually cut the goalkeeper open, and there's been ugly scenes. And then in the end, the game ended up getting called off. They couldn't continue the game, and yeah, it turned ugly, Dom, and it's not what you want to see. I mean, it's all good having protests. You have the right to protest, but in that manner, doing that sort of stuff. And look, it is the minority. Like we can't, emphasize this enough, that you can't just group everyone into this aspect and into that group with those people. It is my minority, but unfortunately, that minority and that person who through the bucket Tom Glover and hit him in the head, you are a lemon. Absolute lemon. Just
So good to
disgusting
see.
behavior. Disgusting behavior. Like look, you can't do that. And look, I don't want to. The blame shouldn't be on Tom Glover, but I will say this: he should have just walked away and not touched the flares. Let the security take care of it. He shouldn't even put his hands on it. Should have just walked away, walk up the pitch, let the security handle it. And I think if that was the case, they wouldn't have run on the field, and there wouldn't have been an issue. But at the same time, it gave them no right to also, throw a metal bucket, and hit him in the head with it.
I agree with you on that, but even at the same time, though, like they threw a flare and it hit a cameraman, and that was fine for them to do. They're in the crowd go,
that's not right.
You know what I mean? Oh, we hit a cameraman, and the cameraman's defenseless. What's he going to do? Throw it back in the crowd and have 40 people run on and beat the shit out of him? Like, they're just idiots. If you wanted to protest, you should have not turned up to the game, because there would have been no one behind the goals, and that's your protest. We're not going to support you by giving you our money. But you paid, you went in there. I don't know what kind of a peaceful protest you're going to have within a game, because the type of people that are involved in that group, there's a whole bunch of fucking lemons in there. And it is a minority source. It's not all of them. There's a lot of good people in there. But like we've seen with everything else, whether it be a silent protest at a football game or a protest during a lockdown or whatever it was, there's a minority of people that do stupid things, and then sensationally, the media will cover it as every single person that is involved in that area is an idiot. That's just the way they do it. We're riding the highs of our World Cup performance, trying to get more money allocated to football in this country, for the grassroots, trying to expand the game, blah, 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 blah. And to be honest, is it wasted? I think it is. It just gives the media another excuse to pummel football after we'd spent 2 weeks of hundreds of thousands of people gathering together from all nations, nationalities, creeds, doesn't matter what you like, color of skin, doesn't matter who you were. You came together, watched the Socceroos. You could have been a Victory fan, a City fan, an Adelaide United fan, a Brisbane Roar fan. It did not matter. You were all together, and you celebrated the success of Australian football, to then get booted out of the World Cup, go back to an A-League game, and carry on like a clown. You're like, the thing that is so frustrating about this situation is you people are so like, you all know that these decisions are going to be made because of money. If FIFA's made them because of money, do you reckon Football Australia is not going to make them because of money? Like, wake up. They care about their pockets. They care about state revenue for governments. That's why they do these things. You as a person, whether you protest or don't protest, have no impact unless there's a person in the ultras that is worth $1 billion that can turn around and say, well, I'm starting up my own football league to rival the A-League, and we're going to put on a better display, better this, better that, or you have money and you're in that position of power at Football Australia, you can't make a difference. You can't make a difference. You don't have the money and you don't have the power. So you got to just shut up and cop it on the chin. Simple as that. And carrying on like a muppet isn't going to help the cause. So what can you do? That's football here. So good. 1 week, next week, back in the papers. Because I can tell you, Source, how we supported Australia for 2 weeks, and it was literally nobody cared about flares, mate, at Fed Square. Everyone was like, oh, this is awesome to see. It was amazing how the narrative had changed from 2010, 2011, 2012 A-League, where they lit a flare and it was like, oh, these people are hooligans and we don't want them around, to lighting a flare in Fed Square supporting Australia. And it was like, oh, this was epic, to one stupid act, well, many stupid act by many stupid people that's going to have a long-lasting effect. Anyway, moving on, Source, because now we've got another Le Mans, and you can't have a calendar year of Le Mans nomination, Source, and not have this person nominated. I'm so surprised. Like, he's been on his best behavior. He's been on his best behavior for a year. He said some things here and there, and
he
you
nearly
just let
made
it
it the
go.
whole year. He nearly made
He
it.
nearly made it the whole year, Sauce. Nearly, but he didn't. The Le Mans is going to the great and powerful Cage lawyer for his take on soccer cards. Here he is. For those that are watching, you're just going to have to read the text. Unfortunately, the video won't play. It's not downloaded. He said, I will not buy soccer cards, not because I don't think they're great. No one cares about soccer cards. You watch the Argentinian team, and he watches them, and humongous millions of people out there cheering for that team to make it right, and they all want what they did buy. They're all out there with Messi jerseys. They have faith in their team. They support their team. They support their guy, and not single one of them cares about a card, is what he said. Which is okay. That's fine. Or a sticker. That's fine. I know Cage has a personal connection to these 1 million Argentinian supporters. He knows everything about their private life. He knows what they collect. He knows what times they shit each day. So, he knows everything about these people that follow football in South America. Not just Argentinians. He knows everything about Brazilians, Colombians, Chileans. He knows everything, by the way. And Europeans, United Kingdom. He knows everything that happens in the hobby here in Australia when it comes to soccer also. So, he said but they don't care. They don't own the cards, and soccer cards is something that's people are trying to force on folks. He said it's his hot take. He says that they're not buying them. He said they're buying them to flip them. Nobody's actually buying soccer cards. There's very few and no new ones. So then he has a cracker on Andrew, which I can't believe. The Le Mans of Le Mans, Mr. Andrew Goldberg, we actually have to agree with you because he came out and said, I completely disagree with you. Like, this is a terrible take. Like, telling him, hey, that's fine. You can have a hot take. But I remember the last time someone generalized a certain aspect of the hobby, and rightfully so, because it did turn out to be a bit of a downhill trend because there wasn't enough research in it. But to say that nobody collects any of these card Source is just ridiculous. And yes, I understand not everyone has cards. They might have stickers, but for you to say nobody collects stickers, that's also like absurd. Like the stickers were massive in Europe. They've only just got the cards coming in. I know you went through it and soccer cards were up 130% and now they're down 35% from a year ago. Tell you what, it's pretty good compared to football and basketball, because all your shill mates over there, like all the whatchamacallit, the hobby heads that have left the hobby that were pumping soccer don't exist, and all it's dropped is 35%. It's pretty good if you ask me, Source. Trying to shill players that are terrible. I don't understand. And I listened to the pod. I think it was like 296. 296. It's not 296. 896 or 996. 896. They're coming up to 1,000 episodes, which is a pretty good effort. But besides the point, came out and said that there's so much of this stuff and no one's collecting Topps Museum and no one's buying this product and buying that product, and it's just watered down and overprinted. And I know he did say, oh, yeah, it does happen in basketball and football too. But I tell you what, there's some quality soccer products out there, football products. We're calling it soccer because that's the way that Panini advertises it as soccer. But Source, there's some quality football products out there. It's a lot safer in terms of like collecting. Price points, pretty much the same. Some are cheaper, some are more affordable than obviously what you can get out of a basketball box, which outside of Optic and maybe Core Kings on a general level, don't care about Flawless and NT. The products are rubbish, Don't tell me Prism and Select. That's a brand that was good 10 years ago, Source. And because it was good 10 years ago, they've rode the wave of those two products.
They've
the
sucked
hype
it dry.
train. Yeah. And people are buying it because they still genuinely think there's value in there, where all their products stink.
Just remember
Like-
this, ladies and gentlemen. Prism used to have on-card autos, and so did Select. They used to be on-card autos in it.
And Select was hobby only, and they thought, oh, let's just make it retail. There was actually a nice sticking point to Select as a product, and then they watered that down. So to say that no one's collecting football/soccer cards for people that are listening, like I look at us
It's
here in
very
Australia,
naive. It's
Source.
very narrow-minded. It's very American thought, and an American thought process. It's spoken like a true American, and it, I just can't see how he's come to that assumption. Um,
And he said
and
they're just buying them to
I
flip
could have
them.
I could have
Flip
I could have
what?
the
You can't buy
well,
shit to flip anything anymore. So I don't understand why we're buying to flip. These people aren't going and buying Messi's and Mbappe. Stop it, yeah? Because their prices are worth fucking astronomical amounts. Stop. Like,
like
that's what we're buying, are we? Pelés and Maradonas that have been shielded to the moon because all these influencers have come in here and shield them. And now that's what they're buying. What are they buying and flipping? It's the same thing as the NBA rookies. You're buying and flipping what? They're all rubbish. No one cares about base prisms and silver prisms anymore. It's just crap. It's just junk. Like, that's the thing I don't understand. So no one's buying them, but then they are buying them to flip them. But we're not flipping shit. Like, I see people selling cards in, like, Soccer Cards Australia, yeah? Yeah, people trying to flip those too. But I see people wanting to buy. I see more people saying, show me what you got of this guy because I buy this card. This is who I buy. Help me complete what I'm looking for. Bang, 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 bang. Mate, Shyway Vlogs bloody posted in the group looking for Mbappe's the other day. Like, anyway.
I think it's
Apparently they're not buying. So
yeah. Well, apparently people don't care about soccer cards. I think that's a naive take. You know, yes, there were certain people trying to push soccer cards onto others, but where hasn't there been an aspect of the hobby that where people see an opportunity to capitalize? They don't, these influencers or people with a bigger following don't try do that same thing. I mean, we've seen the same thing with F1 cards as well, right? Even though we were telling people way before that train. We were on it back at the start, the first station.
yeah, but the disclaimer to that source is we told no one to buy any product after 2020 Topps Chrome.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree.
Yeah,
I agree. But
like,
this is what I'm saying. I just think it's such a naive take to say that that's the case. And what it has done is it's gotten a lot more people, in the US involved in football cards, soccer cards, and it's even says that on their own post there that's the case. That people have said, oh, like I didn't collect soccer, but I've gotten into it and now I've built up a nice collection. And I actually enjoy collecting it. And there's people saying the price point on collecting soccer cards, you can get a much better collection, with your money in soccer cards than you can in basketball. So, there's people saying that. So there are people that are now building up to that point that they want to collect these soccer cards that may have not collected before. And then you've got people who are only collecting soccer. I mean, we know people that only collect soccer and football. They don't even collect an NBA or collect American football or collect baseball. So I just think it's very naive take, and for that Cage, you are a lemon.
it was timely too, source, because the Lemon of the Year nomination process will be underway either tomorrow or Thursday here. So before the new year is rung out, we'll have a champion, and he's just qualified. There will be no more Le Mans given unless unforeseen circumstances, arise. But there'll be no more Le Mans given for the rest of this year. And now we go into the process of, we're going to do a short list. So we give them every week. So we're going to do a short list. We'll probably just get the best 8 or best 16, and I'll do some matchups and you can vote them in. I'll tell you what, Cage, you are a red hot favorite. Probably next to C. Blez, who's received about 25 of these nominees, and your co-host is also, well, he's the 2021 Le Mans of the year. So, Saucy, we'll carry on. Let's go. Project 2022. Let me share this.
What do we got this week? What's on
We've
offer?
got Michael Owen by John Guido. We've got Caroline Morier by Marco Malgrati. Noah Okafor by Stanley Chow. We've got a Cole Palmer by 17th and Oak, and Joao Felix by Dan Layden. So there you go. That's
Not bad. Can't say I love any of the designs.
the Felix kind of got me. It's a bit different, but yeah, I'm probably the same. Still
Michael
great.
Owen's nice.
Michael Owen is nice sauce. What else do we have? A few other interesting things that have come out in the hobby. Let me just do this one for you. So this one here is in retail, gold vinyl of Mbappe pulled out of a blaster. So thanks to Slabstock for the info and tile. So he said, Gem Nance turned a Walmart run into, let's say, a massive Mbappe. What do you think this would sell for in the open market after his hat-trick in the World Cup final? Congrats on the amazing pull. What do you reckon that would go for, Source? Do you want to put a number on it?
Don't have a number. Don't have a number for you. 50K, I reckon. I don't know.
Nice card, though. Gold vinyl. Everyone loves the gold. So it is a very nice card. Next one, Source, your boys. PSA announced they'll be introducing changes to services and pricing. The company said it is rolling out simplified service levels with faster turnaround times and higher declared values. So value bulk is $19 a card, max declared $499 and 20 card minimum on a 65-day business turnaround. Then we've got a value, which is $25 a card, max declared $499, 65 business day turnaround. Value plus is $40 a card. Max declared is $499, 20 business day turnaround. Regular is $75 a card. Value at $1,500 a card, 10 business day turnaround. And then the dual service bulk is $25 a card. Max declared value $499, and then a 20 card minimum on a 75 business day turnaround. So few updates there. So it's beginning in January 2023, Source. So we're rolling out some changes.
Good to see prices are coming down and
the new year.
Getting more competitive as they should. I'm guessing the prices are coming down because there's less and less demand, maybe. Or maybe they're finally getting through the backlog.
Who knows? Manny said he's pissed he didn't get a Le Mans nomination. Do you actually want one? Why would you want one? I could win it. I might have to nominate myself because you gave me a Le Mans on the show. So I'm going to be shortlisted. And knowing the people that watch this show, based on the way that my month is going with the World Cup leading into everything, you're probably going to vote me in. Like the custom card, he likes it. Yeah, well, Adam does a fantastic job with the Le Mans of the Year card. All right, Source. A couple other things. Let me get rid of this. A couple products for the UFC lovers. So we've got Optic UFC. Contains 4 cards per pack, 20 packs per box. Look for 1 auto and 20 insert parallels per box on average. Collect a variety of stunning parallels, including pink velocity, black velocity, and the iconic gold vinyl. Pull autos in rated rookie SIGs, voices of the Octagon SIGs, and optigraphs. Chase the ultra rare downtown insert and black Pandora parallels, and celebrate the monikers of UFC's best and brightest fighters, in also known as. So I'm going to go through this whole entire gallery, to be honest. Let's doing this because it's sorry. So we got Tom Aspinall, Paddy the Batty, Source in the rated rookie.
More Paddy Bimlett rookie cards. Jeez.
Aljamain Sterling, Rose Number Eunice, Sugar Sean.
Tell you what, his cards sell for a lot considering he hasn't won a title or anything. It's pretty crazy.
Brock Lesnar, Zhang Wei Li, Paulo Costa, Tom Aspinall, Ilya Topuria, Kamzat Chimaev, Yanez, Davison Figueroa, Paul Craig. Yeah, look at this. Voices of the Octagon, Bruce Buffer, Colby Covington. There's your boy, the Volk. So a few parallel looks there. Anderson Silva, Max Holloway, Perez, Sean Strickland. Surely we can get a Joe Rogan in this if it's the voices of the game. My House, Khabib, Makachev, Game Bread. Those look pretty good. Sticker autos, of course. There's John Anik. Surely we're going to get Joe Rogan here. Warrior. Oh, it doesn't say. A nice look source. It would have been good to see the downtown. That would have been nice. I would have been interested. Oh, here we go. Oh, here we go. Hobby exclusive. Your thoughts on that? Downtown to collect of the Volk.
Yeah, not my cup of tea, but we'll see. We'll see. I might buy some. Wait a bit. I'm hoping now that there's a new set out. Some of the select cards that were a bit hot from the previous set go down, and a bit more attention on the newer set.
And obviously, the next one is 2022 Panini Immaculate Source.
Yeah, this will be nice. It's got on-card autos. One of the, I think the only set that they do with on-card autos. Maybe might be two sets that they do with on-card autos.
So 1st of Feb's the release date. Source on this one: 6 cards per pack, 1 pack per box, 5 boxes per case, 3 autos, 2 relics, and here we go. UFC Fight Night memorabilia. There's Izzy Adesanya. Oversized swatches. Paddy the Batty. It's got Narcy on there. So rookie autos in this for Paddy the Batty. Holly Holm. There's Kamaru Usman. Adrian Yanez. Anderson Silva. And Khabib auto source. I thought they weren't doing Khabib autos anymore.
Nah, he's still part of the UFC. Why he just signs his name and gets paid for it? Why not keep making money?
Yeah, that's a fair point.
It's a good business move for him, mate. Doesn't have to even fight, and people want to collect his cards like crazy.
Yeah, you make a fair point. All right. Last couple things, and then we are actually done and dusted here, Source, for the day. First one is
when you don't focus on some of the hobby rubbish and drama that tries to get drummed up on a weekly basis. You keep the hobby segment nice and short, mate, and actually give people informative information rather than just complete other gibberish and rubbish that, I mean, I'm not saying that you don't need to be aware of it. You do. I said, but you don't need us regurgitating the same information that you can get from other channels around about and other social media pages. We do talk about it on occasion, but it's just sometimes we just go, mate, we're not giving it air this week. Can be given the flick.
Here comes the next one, Source. Sunday, the 5th of March, 2023. I saw Matty Tabe said he's got his ticket already. And for some reason, they've put us on as the headline act, Source, on the stage.
We made it! Mama, we made it!
So it's very nice of them to do that, the crew at the Hobby Hangout. So, what's happening,
Make sure
Global?
You get your tickets, ladies and gents. Sunday, the 5th of March, the Hobby Hangout. This is first of many
Who
plugs
knows?
we'll be giving it on the show.
Who knows what's going
As
to
you
come
can
out
see,
of the
Doma
great
and
man's
Sauce
sources?
from double coverage up on the stage. I might actually have to trim the beard and
I can't
get it
believe, like
looking good
Julian,
when I get
we've
up there.
met Julian before from EJ Cards. Lovely person. Lane, of course, very lovely person. We're on the stage, Source, with the one and only Shane Panther. Now, the way that we act, the three of us, when we're together, I hope they don't give us any combined questions, because the amount of crap that could be spoken, there could be some comedic value there. It could be a comedy special instead of a. So we're looking forward to it. In reality, it was very nice to be acknowledged and asked to come up on the stage. Matt Taves says Shane will have a hat on 100%. Oh, we're gonna have to put a betting market out on that one, I reckon. And a coffee in his hand. He always has a coffee in his hand. He pretends like he works. So
It does
he's always got a
none
coffee.
whatsoever.
So it'd be good. It'd be really, really good. That's the speakers.
Have to do a live lemon, Matty reckons. Yeah, well, maybe, or I'll just have bags of lemons, so I can just give out lemons to everyone.
Oh, that would be so funny.
Here's a lemon for you. Here's a lemon for you.
No, we should actually give him a lemon and say, you did this on this date, here, and here. You're a lemon. Bang. Congratulations. So there's some of the stalls in the lineup. A lot of good hobby people in that list right there. So looking forward to catching up with everyone at the hobby hangout. Very nice. Manny says you don't want to talk about Golden 62 home run ball. The Aaron Judge one. I don't even know the story behind that. I know that it was up for like $1 million or some shit. I haven't paid attention to it, to be honest.
Don't care, because no one outside of America collects baseball, so we don't give a fuck.
It lives on a
baseball,
5-acre
right?
golf course, so that's all that matters, isn't it?
Well, we don't we don't collect baseball. No one watches baseball outside of American people. So what would we know and what would we care about baseball? I mean,
no one collects baseball, do they? They only buy baseball to flip it. So,
mate, no one. Oh, just like no one collects soccer, and everyone just collects soccer to flip it. Apparently.
Exactly. All right. Second to last thing before I just pose a question to you, Source, and then you can answer it and you can tell me yes or no. But we have our Christmas giveaway. It's going to be drawn on either the 26th or the 27th. I've put something in there.
Make sure you go there and enter, ladies and gentlemen.
It's free.
Free stuff.
Just tag two people. Come on, guys. Just put us out there a bit more. You guys do a wonderful job supporting us. We want to give back, and we want to give everyone the opportunity. It is a global event. So jump in there. You're going to get a double coverage tee. You're going to get a solo pack here. You might hit absolutely nothing, or you might hit something. Yeah, but most and then likely. Here we've got a sign that is an on-card auto. We are offering you more than what Panini offers their customers, and it's for free. On-card autos from Tyson Beck on a card that he designed on the Mike Trout Project 70 over here. So thanks, Global. Appreciate that. Putting it up on his page. Matty Tape beers after hobby hangout.
We'll post. We'll chuck it up there, Global, and try to get some people to head over to the Instagram and give it a like and definitely share.
It's free entry. Source. Who doesn't like free stuff?
It's always better when it's free. That's the saying.
Exactly. And lucky last to end it on this one, Source. Messi obviously wins the World Cup. He's got a certain title next to his name now. He's known as something in the sport. I don't know what it is. It seemed to slip my mind. I've forgotten it. Even though, I look at the Messi card right in front of me and I see Tyson Beck's inscription on the card. Right here. Look at it. So, price hike, short term, and it comes down, or because of where he stands in football history now, it actually hikes. stays there, or it has no effect, like we've seen in the past. Sometimes not having an effect at all on certain players when they win big events.
Man, I'm leaning at the fact that it doesn't have too much of an effect. You might see some, short-term bit of price rise, but I think his card prices were so high already. I mean, it's so expensive. I mean, his mega cracks has come down a lot from where it was, and so have many other cards of other goats as well. So look, I don't think we see too much of a price increase. Maybe we see it a little bit, but I think it's going to be more of just sort of stays where it's at, and there'll always be a desire for Messi cards, and going forward, I think obviously the best player to most likely play the game until maybe one day someone eclipses him. So there's always going to be collectors there for him.
Yeah, definitely. So, do you think when he wins another Ballon d'Or, that's something that actually we didn't speak about? He actually is favourite to win the Ballon d'Or, Messi.
But his season for club has been absolutely shit.
No, he's kicked 16 goals and had 14 assists.
Oh, okay. Yeah, but he plays in the French league. Jeez.
Doesn't matter. He won a World Cup. Luka Modric won a World Cup. I know he won a Champions League that year as well.
He didn't win a World Cup. He made the final.
He made the final, and he won it. He's actually going to get it. He's going to win another one.
I don't think it has any effect on his card prices. I mean, Tom Brady won his seventh, and his prices went up, and now they've come down a shitload. So, what's collected more according to Cage?
Yeah,
American football or soccer, right? So, if we're talking in that aspect of what you want to say about the lemon of lemons of the show, Mr. Cage, it shouldn't have any effect because no one collects soccer, mate.
That's a fair point. There should be no fluctuation.
I don't think we're going to have the fluctuation that people think we're going to have. Like it's just not the case. I mean, we've seen it even in card prices. I mean, everyone thought, when Giannis wins that title, what happened to his card prices, man? They went down. So, look,
fair enough.
It doesn't matter. I just think it just affirms his place in the game as a GOAT or the GOAT, and it just amplifies the amount of eyes that are on his cards. And now maybe more and more people now that he's got that World Cup, more people want his cards, and that sort of helps keep those cards at those prices because there's more collectors for them. I don't think the cards go up a hell of a lot.
I think there's a short-term rise for like a week, 2 weeks, while it's at the height of this, and then it'll just come down and plateau out.
I mean, don't get me wrong. If you're buying short print cards and good quality cards that are highly desired of Messi, I mean, you can't go wrong holding on to them for the next 10 to 20 years. I think then if you actually want to make some money, I think that's where you should be looking to keep that collection for that period of time.
Does Ronaldo dip now? Does Ronaldo become worthless?
Ronaldo should be worth absolutely peanuts, mate, so that you can get a good collection. And then after that, once you've got a good collection, then it can go up.
I'll pump it. I'll just keep pumping it up.
Yeah.
Nah,
his cards should stay the same. I think we're going to see much of the same. I don't think
he's shit, guys. He's no good, man. It's got to dip. He's like the fourth best player to ever play the game now. So dip. I'm going to be an influencer here. Just dip it. He's no good.
There we go.
He's shit.
It is still tempted
super
to go buy
iconic, man.
From this year's World Cup and stash them. It's an iconic year, to be honest.
That's
the question I'll pose you, Doma, right? Because obviously previously, really, World Cups that haven't really had too many. I mean, 2018 had a set of cards. I don't know if 2016, 2014 did. But would you rather be stashing the stickers or stashing like the cards?
Cards. The stickers, you don't get the whole set and stuff. I know people like I read, not know people. I know people that bought a few boxes trying to complete the set, didn't complete it. But then I saw an article on like that was written up. Someone had bought like 12, 13 boxes of the shit, and they still hadn't got the full set. So it's not as easy as you think it is to get like Messi and Ronaldo, where you'd be able to get some Messi and Ronaldo probably base cards out of Prism, with the chance to hit a nice auto of even an Mbappe. So I think it's just
but I just think he's just saying like because it's an iconic year. I mean, I would say this: if I'm going to stash something from this World Cup, I'm going to buy boxes of cards and stash those, whether it be Prism or one of the other sets that they've got there, and stash those. Yeah, I mean it's not a bad one. There's a few good rookies in there as well as their first rookies, and then you've obviously got Messi winning the World Cup in his last ever World Cup. I'll be interested to see what his World Cup cards from this World Cup end up being worth in 10 years or 15 years. From the World Cup that he actually won, what his cards are worth. So
it'd be as much as every other card in 15 years, back to where they were 5 years pre-pandemic. They'll be not that expensive. So that's what will happen.
Hey, let's hope, mate, because that means hobby boxes will be back down to $200, mate.
That probably won't change.
Of course, the wax prices will never change. No worries.
No. There's too many lemons in too many
just
places.
The card prices will keep going down, but the wax prices will just stay where they are. That just makes perfect sense, Doma.
Yeah. Anyway, all right, Sauce. On that note, I'm Dom with the great man Sauce. Keep living, loving, and breathing sport. It's double coverage. Thanks for everyone for tuning in. Join the giveaway. Have a punt. You might win yourself some Christmas gifts from us.
We'll have one more show before the end of the year, Doma.
We will. And then we're going to have the special Le Mans of the Year ceremony show where whoever wins it, we're going to try and contact them to get them on the show. It could be anyone. I haven't given it to any fighters, have I, this year or anything?
You better hope not. You better hope. You already got Tony Bellew after you.
Yeah. If you won it, I would have DM'd him and said, can you come on the show? We've got a present for you. I'll try my luck. Uncle Ken's nominated. He might want to come on.
Oh.
He might tell me to get fucked like he told all the people in the hobby like yourselves to get fucked. So anyway, on that note, peace.
Peace, ladies and gents.
Thank you for tuning in. Please don't forget to leave a review on the Apple Podcasting app. Also, follow us on socials, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and TikTok. Talking all sports, double coverage.